Now, अब जो all the derivatives I'm telling you ये नहीं होंगे MF19 में, तो all the previous ones that we have discussed वो सब होंगे basic वाले, but obviously इतने आसान questions you do not get such questions. So now what if I have y is equals to e to the power 2x and I want to differentiate this. AS maybe we had similar questions जिसमें bracket and then it had a power to the n. So how do I differentiate this? Again, taking the support of chain rule, can I say u is 2x? If I use this substitution, can I write y is e to the power u? Remember, this is my question, and I'm in search of dy upon dx. Is that right or wrong? Right or wrong? So if I take u as 2x and e to the power u, what is this derivative called? What is this derivative called? dy over du is e to the power u. Does this make sense? Yes. If I'm differentiating this, what do I call this? du by, and what will that be? 2x का derivative क्या होगा? 2. And which derivative was I searching for? So can I use the chain rule dy by du times du by dx? So dy by dx is e to the power u times 2. So now plugging in 2 e to the power 2x. U was 2x, right? Makes sense? Now let's convert it into a pattern. What if I have y as, conclude करते हैं इसको with a pattern, y as e to the power, and there was any function as a power, e की power में if I have another function, then what? The power of e remains as it is. Function does not multiply. The derivative of the function will multiply. Write this down. This won't be provided in MF19. So I am doing ln of any particular function. Now in order to ease something, let me write the function as u. थोड़ा सा आसान हो जाता है. So if I take the u as fx, ln हटाऊंगा तो e की power y is u. And if I differentiate it, I'll get du by dy, which is 1 over e to the power y. And if I differentiate this, I'll get du by dx, which is f dash x. The derivative of fx is f dash x, right? Is this clear? Now, which derivative am I searching for? dy by dx. Can I write it as dy by du times
du upon dx.
dy by du by dy will be, थोड़ा इसको correct करते हैं. Sorry, this will be e to the power y, right? Isn't this the case? Now dy by dx will be 1 upon e to the power y times du by dx is f dash of x, and e to the power y was u, or e to the power y was the function itself. So the derivative is f dash x upon fx. How do we simplify it? We won't be going through this rigorous process. We will say if there is any function in log, that function will be in the denominator and the numerator will have its derivative. ln x kya tha? Niche we got x, and in the numerator we got the derivative of x, which is 1. So this is our conclusion. Is this clear now?
ये जो है एक जनरल फंक्शन लॉग
general बना रहे हैं so that whatever function we get,
and उस फंक्शन को डेरिवेट करके लिखेंगे ना.
denominator will get the function and the numerator will get the derivative of that function.
अब ऐसे लिखा हुआ 3x plus 2 यहाँ पे 3 आया.
नीचे 3x plus 2 and ऊपर 3. That's it. ln of 3x plus 2 is 3x plus 2 in the denominator, 3 in the numerator.
वो जो मैं बता रहा था ln के साथ अगर आ जाए तो क्या होगा?
Is this clear now? मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, it's very important दो चार चीजें, sine and cos को भी एक दफा देख लेते हैं. If I get any angle inside sine, you get the hang of it. If I get any angle inside sine, so fx को u बना लो. So again, what do you get? इसका dy by dx. Again, you can verify it through the chain rule. Cos and the function will remain as it is, and it will be multiplied by the derivative of the function. If there is any angle in sine, sine derivative will become cos. The function or the angle will remain as it is, and it will be multiplied by the derivative of that angle. इसी तरह if I go for cos, obviously you can check it through chain rule as well. And I urge you to check it through chain rule. So cos x is, cos ka derivative is negative sine. The angle remains as it is, which can be any function, and it multiplies by the derivative of f. So I'll just write it in a simpler way so that it's easier for us to understand. Negative f dash x. This negative is not because of the derivative. This negative is because of sine. इस cos का derivative is negative sine x. उसका negative यहाँ पर लिखा है. Is this clear now? All of this will not be provided. Obviously, because this requires some basic differential techniques. इसी तरह, what about tan x?
In paper, आप उसको डायरेक्ट अप्लाई करेंगे ना, rather than applying the chain rule and.
You are right. इसलिए तो सिखा रहे हैं. That is what we are learning right now.
Sec square of x.
F dash x multiplied by sec square. So angle does not change in trigonometric differentiation. And in AS, we have already done this one, the last thing, which is if I have any function, AS में किया हुआ है, y is any function, ये भी chain rule से ही understand किया था हमने, any function to the power n. So the derivative will be n, and the function remains as it is. The power decreases by 1 and it multiplies by the derivative of it. This you have already done. Now this will also be applied to all the trigonometric and exponential functions as well. Logarithmic, trigonometric and exponential सब पे apply होगा. Is this clear now? Now, two very small rules that we will do with A2 product rule and quotient rule हम करेंगे. If I have two functions which are multiplying, I'm calling one of them as u and the other one is v. So the derivative of that will be u into derivative of v plus v into derivative of u. When is this going to be applied? When u and v are two functions. And a function is something which has a variable. You cannot say 2 is a function. सही है?
Same function या different?
Anything. It can be, if it's same function, so उसको तो एक बना के power कर लो ना, that's it. This will only be applied or needed when you have two different functions and they are multiplying. And what if they are dividing? Then we have the quotient rule. When the two functions are multiplication, it's not a big deal. But division may need to understand what is u and what is v. dy by dx is v into derivative of u minus u into derivative of v upon v squared.
अरे बात बताएं, ये तो प्लस हो रहा है, तो ये u
Quotient rule में does not matter what you take as u and what you take. Sorry, product rule में does not matter what you take as u and what you take as v because both are multiplying. And इनके derivatives b or multiply, okay, it's all adding up, so nothing to worry. But in quotient rule, you have to be extra careful. The numerator is what you call u and the denominator is what you call v. So, divide में divide भी होता है, so you have to write it separately as divide. to avoid confusion with fractions. So be ready for that. This is quotient rule. This is product rule, needed when two functions are multiplying or dividing. Is this clear? Makes sense?